Hello everybody. In this video you will be learning about methods. The agenda of my video will be what are methods, why do we use methods, what are methods signatures, what is method overloading, and parameters and arguments. I'll explain in detail about parameter types, the types of parameters, in my next video. So let's get straight into it. So C# basically supports two types of class methods. They are, which you will already be familiar with, static methods and instance methods. Any normal method is an instance method. So here I've declared a method. The syntax for declaring a method is access modifier, return type. I will explain in detail about return types in my later videos. And then, as I was saying, the method name, brackets inside which you can pass parameters, curly brackets inside which you can type in statements. So, the syntax for declaring a static method is access modifier, static keyword, return type, that is void actually here, method name, brackets inside which you can again pass parameters, curly brackets inside which you can type in statements. Next, I'm going to talk about what is a method. Basically, a method is a code block that contains a series of statements. A method will only be executed when it's called in your program. So normally people create objects, an object of the class inside which the method is there. Then they in the next line they type in object name dot method name bracket inside which you can pass parameters, not parameters, arguments. I'll explain in detail about arguments later in this video. Semicolon. Methods are also known as functions. Next, I'm going to talk about why do we use methods. The advantage of using a method is reusability. So you just need to define the code once and you can call it many times. I'll explain that, I'll show you that in the Visual Studio demo. Every executable instruction or action should be inside a method. I'll even show you that in the Visual Studio demo. The main method is the entry point of every single C# application, and it's called by the CLR, that is Common Language Runtime, when the program has started. I will show you that in the Visual Studio demo too. Methods can be declared inside a class. So I've explained about classes in detail in one of my previous videos. Class, struct, also called structures, and interfaces. I'll explain about them in one of my later videos. So next I'm going to talk about what are method signatures. So basically the name of the method and the parameters together form the method signature. So a return type is not a part of the signature of the method for the purposes of method overloading. You will learn about method overloading in detail later in this video. So even the access modifier is also not considered as a part of the signature of the method. So here I've declared a method called area, that is a method name. So that is a part of the signature, and the parameters that are float length and float breadth, they are also a part of the signature of the method. So now I'm going to talk about what is method overloading. So method overloading is used because two or more methods can have the same name but different parameters. So method overloading can be achieved by changing the number of parameters in the method, changing the order of parameters in the method, and by changing the different data types, by using the different data types for parameters. So here inside a class called shapes, I've declared 3 methods with the same name, area. And for the first method, here I've only passed a parameter called side. So what this will do is calculate, what this method will do is it'll calculate the area of a square. So the formula to calculate the area of a square is side into side. So as you can see, this class contains different area calculation for different shapes. So now I'm going to talk about why do we use method overloading. So basically the client will not be really bothered about the different area calculation methods. Our code will look really messy if we create different methods with different names for some area calculations. The same functionality. So here all these methods are for calculating the area of different shapes. So when the client calls the method area, he can get all the method overloads there. And he can choose the appropriate one and pass the arguments. So here I have declared a method, 2 methods actually, with the same name area and the same parameters too. So you can see that here I have an error. I'll show you that in the Visual Studio demo. Now next I'm going to start talking about parameters and arguments. So basically parameters act as variables inside the method. So here these are the 2 parameters, float length and float breadth. So information can be parsed to methods as parameters. So passing the parameters to the method is called an argument. So this is the main method, and here I've created an object of the class that's called area calculator, and object name dot area, and this is to calculate the area of a rectangle. So this is the length and this is the breadth. So here 10 and 5 are the arguments. And you can create as many as parameters as you want. Just separate them as a comma, just like I did here with parameters, float length and float breadth. I've separated them with a comma. Now we are going to do the Visual Studio demo. I'll just fire up Visual Studio. Okay, so here I've fired up Visual Studio and I've created a solution inside which I have a console application and a class library. So the core logic will be in the class library, and we will just call our method, and I'll just show you that. So this is my class library and this is my console application. So this is the main method. As you can see, it's the entry point to our C# application. So now let's start doing our code. So first I will declare 2 methods. One will be for calculating the area of a square and the other will be for calculating the area of a rectangle. Public, void, and then the name. So we are going to be using method overloading area. I'll use cancel case area bracket. So the parameters float, side, okay, and then I'll start up a curly bracket. In here I'll declare a variable that's called result, equal to side multiplied by side, semicolon, and then in the next line I'll type in console.writeLine, so CW, and then I click tab. Oh, okay, and then in here I want to display the string first, so area colon and area of the square, so placeholder or parameter, comma. Okay, here's what you have to display in here. The placeholder. So here I have to display the result. Okay. So as I said about the signature of the method, the access modifier is not a part of the signature, and even for the return type, that can be any data type. That is also not a part of the method signature. The method name and the method parameters are a part of the method signature. Area and side, they are the method signature. Now next I am going to create one more method that will be for the area of rectangle. So public void again area bracket. I'm gonna pass two parameters, float length and float breadth. And then I'm going to insert a curly bracket. So inside this again variable result equals length into breadth, semicolon. In the next line I'll type in console.writeLine area placeholder for the parameters. So there, comma after the quotation mark. Here I'll type in what you have to display here again. So result. Okay, so now we are going to call our method in our console application by creating an object. So what we have to do for that is first we have to add the reference of the project inside our console application. So okay, and then you have to add the namespace in here using, and then the namespace name, that is shapes. I'll just copy that and paste that here, semicolon. So here I'll create an object. So var object name, that will be area obj, area obj equals new class name. So the class name is area calculator, which I'll copy and paste here, bracket, semicolon. Now we are going to call the method that is area for calculating the area of a square. So area obj object name, control C, and I'll paste that here, area obj dot area bracket. So just a second. So here you can see that the overloads are here. So this is for the square, the argument you only have to pass it for the square, and this is for the rectangle. So now we are going to pass the arguments only for the square. So the side will be 5. So 5, and then I'll put a semicolon. Now let us run our program. Control F5. So here you can see that the console opens and it says me that the area is 25. So 5 into 5 is 25. Now if we want, we can do the same thing for even calculating the area of the rectangle. So after the 5, the argument in here, we'll put in a comma, and it's asking me to pass the breadth. So 5 and 10. Now again, let's run our program. So it says me that the area is 50. So as you can see that it's easier in the client side because they just need to pass the required parameters to the same area method. Now I will show you the same thing using a static method. So I'll go to my class library, and you don't really need to make this instance class static because an instance class can contain a static method and an instance method, and as for a static class it can only contain a static method. So I'll make this method for the calculating the area of a rectangle static. So here as you can see there is an error. That's because we don't here we need the class name, that is area calculator dot method name. So I'll copy that and paste that. Now again, so now here if I'll just show you this. I'll put in a bracket and it only shows me one of the method, that is the area calculator for the rectangle, because we have only made that method static. So here I'll pass those parameters again. They were 5 and 10. Now here I'll just type an object name. Oh, just a second. Yeah. So object name that area. I showed up a bracket. So here too, it only shows me the one parameter area method. So that is for the square. Again 5 and then semicolon. So now again let's run our program. So as you can see here, the area of the square is 25, and as for the area of the rectangle, it's 50. So that was right. So now it's proved that you can achieve the same thing using a static method too. So that's it for this video, guys. If you like this video, don't forget to like and share this video. Please subscribe to my channel for more. Goodbye till the next video.